Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Connor, here with my father,
Kevin.
And today we have a very special guest here in Vancouver, fresh off the release of Frequencies Volume 1, and coming up to the 1-year anniversary of What's Wrong with New York. And he's one of my personal favorite artists right now, The Dare. How's it going?
Hello. I'm flattered. That's really nice.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to come out to our studio and sit down with us and chat.
It's really nice to be here.
We have a lot of questions just regarding your record and Frequencies as well. But first and foremost, how are things? How's the tour life? How's the summer been going?
It's been really crazy. It's just been like nonstop touring, nonstop shows. So it's pretty up and down. A lot of adrenaline and exercise happening. And also, just like a lot of flying around. Like I said off camera that I flew in from London last night.
Crazy.
But it's good. Yeah, it just feels super active, releasing the EP as well as like in the midst of doing all this, I did like 11 shows in Brooklyn.
Wow.
This summer. And 7 of those were back to back at one venue.
Wow.
So it's been crazy, but it's also been really fun. And
You enjoying it?
Yeah, no, I am.
Yeah,
I mean, I love DJing. So whenever I get the chance to do that, I especially love that. But
And so with you being so busy performing shows, where are you finding your time to work on new stuff?
Honestly,
when are you finding
just
your time, I should say.
I mean, on the plane, or I was just working on music in the Airbnb before coming here for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is like, computer based, like in the box stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need like a massive expensive studio to make music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just kind of stuffing it in the time that I have off, or like doing maybe like sessions here and there in New York or LA or whatever. But I want to have more time to do that. Mm-hmm. And I will soon. It's
pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find right now that with the whole the festival season, once things like September, October come down, it slows down a little bit for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even really know anything about like European festival season or how crazy it is during the summer. But I've already been multiple times to like the Netherlands alone, because they have multiple music festivals that are like, they have like 2 or 3 Coachellas essentially. And then every place has this, So, but it ends, it gets cold. Nobody, and music industry just worldwide kind of slows and shuts down over the holidays. So that's going to be really nice
for you to be creative again.
That's one thing I didn't know until recently, until like meeting a lot of musicians and especially musicians that are based out of like, Europe and the UK, is just, I would see their tour schedule and they'd come to North America and it would be like, 2 months and I'd be like, okay, cool. But then I would look at their European schedule and it's like they were in the same country for like, like 2 weeks straight.
Yes,
and I'm like, what's going on? Like, how many shows are you playing there? But no, it makes sense now that I've spoken with people and understand like why they're going to like Sweden and Poland and
for sure.
And all over the place.
Up Canada, we had the years and years ago with Jay-Z and Coldplay, and that was the Pemberton Festival, which was huge for us here in BC, right?
Yeah, they got rid of that.
The only thing in Canada I think we have is Osheaga, which is back east in Montreal, but otherwise there's no festival. We don't have Glastonbury, we don't have Leeds, and that's one thing I got to get on that and fly over there, because I would literally pee my pants watching like just to be in the crowd, just to see it, right? As a spectacle.
I'm actually going to see Oasis in New Jersey next week,
so really?
I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh wow.
So you're flying around a lot. Are you super comfortable with flying at this point?
Honestly, yes, but I used to be like you, and I used to dread it. I would basically have one flight a year back to Seattle for like the holidays, and it would be hard to like even get on the flight. Like it was just brutal anxiety like around flying, and honestly just sort of like exposure therapy is the only thing
is
that
it
get over it. But
I was going to ask you that question because I really wanted to ask you, because it was like that's for one thing for me that's really holding me back from traveling with Connor, right, and seeing shows, right? So it is exposure, right?
Yeah, that's for me at least. I don't know. Some people never get over it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like I even used to be like a bit mystical about it. Like I wouldn't listen to like a certain song while the plane was taking off.
Really?
I thought I might like curse it or something. You know, if it was like a really dark, wicked track or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I need to listen to like something. Like I need to listen
like
to
Brian Eno.
yeah, like something like that.
Yeah.
That would create like a better vibe. But that was also, you know, just making myself feel better.
Yeah,
and
that's actually really funny because I have a similar story, but it's kind of reversed, where I would listen to a certain song as like for good energy instead of like a curse. You know, I'd like play a song, and I remember there was this time I was flying out of Milan to Paris, and I was trying to time it so that the beat drop would hit as soon as the plane took off. And I probably replayed that song about 17 times because they just kept delaying the flight. And I was like, fuck, I think that was my number one song on Spotify that year. It was the Welcome to My Island, Caroline Polachek.
Oh, yeah. I have my list. If you don't mind me jumping in.
Let's jump into it.
I've got just a few. It'll be quick, okay? I just wanted to know, it's always interesting to me because I grew up with my mom playing like a lot of 45s, right, from the 70s.
Yeah.
And she was super supportive. So I was just going to say, did you have a musical house growing up? Was there...
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Mostly from... Well, my parents forced me to play music, not because they were, you know, super... adept musicians themselves or anything, but they just felt like they should. They felt like it was a good thing to have growing up. And my dad was like a really big music lover.
Wow.
So I feel like from a young age, I was sort of like, he would sort of just, you know, play me songs and then like give me quarters or something if I could guess who the band was after a while. So I feel like in a weird way, like he trained me to like sort of listen more actively, I guess.
Yeah.
But also he was just such a big music lover that it rubbed off on me.
What can I ask you? What kind of like? Do you remember any of the tunes? Like my dad was Chuck Berry for him, like and Fats Domino. But
yeah, no, I was forced to watch the like Chuck Berry documentary. Like,
oh, did you legit?
Yeah.
Oh my,
definitely.
That was me.
Yeah. There's also like I feel like my dad was really into like the Eric Clapton Crossroads. Like live videos, which I thought, you know, at like the age of 12 or whatever, that like Steve Vai was just so cool.
Yeah.
He has this like guitar with the handle.
Oh yeah.
I still think it's cool.
But,
I feel like he was sort of into dad rock, classic rock, like a little bit more like Americana, alt country stuff, like
nice.
Like Ryan Adams.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
So I like grew up listening to that a lot. I also like he had like a big CD collection that I would just sort of sit down with and like put the CDs into the CD. It was like a 6 CD changer thing, which is so silly now. But like he had like a copy of Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails.
Really?
And I remember
Wow.
there were some like outliers, and I remember just
Yeah.
like sort of looking at it and being like, this, like, what is this band name? And like, why is it so scary? And like listening to that, and then my mom quickly being like, maybe you shouldn't be listening to that, you know, like you're 12 or whatever. But yeah, I feel like just hearing all of this sort of just, you know, slightly diverse sounds from like my dad's CD collection, and it was really their shared CD collection. But
did you figure that with the lessons, like were you pissed at having to get lessons?
Yeah, I hated it.
Did you?
I totally hated playing violin. I basically I smashed a violin bow. I like ran away from home. Like I really, really hated it, but they were like, you will appreciate it later. You just are too young and dumb to understand right now.
You don't get it right now.
Which they were totally right.
Yeah,
but
I can say the same about you. I was like, I detested the drums. And you just kept putting me on them.
I had a 4-piece Gresh kit that I got from 604 Records, which is Nickelback, right? Yeah. Somebody worked there, and then it was like they didn't want it, and so I was like, it was $500. Didn't have the money, had to put it on a line of credit. against our house to buy this.
Yeah, mom wasn't.
She was not happy. I'm like, I'm putting it against that, but I wanted to get him a kit, and then I was just playing. He was playing AC/DC. He was playing Coldplay. But then, as soon as I started giving him kudos, he was like, "That's it." He threw the sticks down.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just because it's like I wanted to, I didn't want to be forced to do it. I wanted to
do it on your own.
Do it on my own.
Yeah.
And I love playing drums now,
Yeah.
late into my 20s. But at the time, it was just like,
Did I force you?
Well, not force me, but like you were like,
just this is
well, okay,
like therapy right
I didn't feel like rebellious.
I would be playing and you would be like right over hovering over me, making sure I get like
60s, 30 seconds on the hi-hat.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
What else you got on your list?
You know what? Okay, this is a huge one. I think it's a huge one. What hat do you feel most comfortable wearing? The writer, the producer, or the performer?
I thought you were going to ask me about actual hats.
Oh, I would love to change.
I have a secret love of hats, but I don't know if there are any published photos of me wearing any. But yeah, it's good for being incognito, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have like a hat collection?
I have a very small one right now, but when I was younger, I did have a very big hat collection. And I do need to get one for winter/fall.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about like a knit one with some tassels maybe.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like almost like a Scott Pilgrim thing maybe.
Yeah.
Like metaphorical hat though, like I guess the most joy, like the maximum joy that I get from music is either from DJing like right now at this point in time, is either from DJing or is from just writing and sort of producing, which to me are totally intertwined, especially when you make electronic music or you make music on your computer. Those are just like the most fun and euphoric and like sort of I can lose myself in that process or activity or whatever the most. But yeah, I don't know, probably that.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, if when you produce, like, is it what's the guy from Canada who's with the big ears?
Deadmau5.
Yeah. No, I always wonder with him, like where he stands. Like he's in the studio, but then he puts on that persona and goes out and does his thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I always wonder, like, where does it lie? Like, does it?
I was trying to think of a guy with like, I'm like, who the hell has you get really big ears?
It's Deadmau5. He's from Ontario, so I know
okay.
That. Yeah,
gotcha.
Right, he's an Ontarian, right? I still have more questions if you want. I feel like
please.
Us being from Canada and you being from the PNW, right?
Yeah.
Is there any Canadian artists that you listen to and you're inspired by?
Yeah, there's like, I was just thinking of that. I was thinking about how Canada has so much dance music history that's important to me, like especially like even more recent stuff like Marie Davidson. I'm a huge fan of. She's from Montreal. She's just like kind of one of the most influential people to me in terms of like the Dare as a project and as like a band or whatever, and stylistically, like she just makes such funny and cool and tasteful like dance music. And
I gotta check her out.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Wow.
She just put out a record that came out on Dewey, which is Soulwax's label, and I think they did additional or co-production on the songs. She's just got a great sense of humor and it bangs. But like I don't know, other Canadian people like Tiga is also another huge influence on me. Like I feel like I don't know, even more than LCD or something. Like when I discovered Tiga, I was like, this is really for me. And I discovered them at totally different points in my life. Like I probably started listening to LCD when I was like 16 or something and in the suburbs, and I didn't like encounter Tiga until I was like actually DJing and in New York, and I was like, these songs can be played, they're meant to be played like in the club, like I think if I were to like play like a full LCD sound system song in like a club environment, some of them may not work that well today. You know, some of them would and some of them do, but Tiga, I was like, this guy is like really in the dance music world. And he's also playing the show tomorrow, but he's one of my heroes. So
that's awesome. And the Hip. Do you know the Hip from like the Tragically Hip?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm just wondering, could you like
curious about their name and like how close to the border.
Well, it is. It's weird.
Yeah.
The Tragically Hip is like right across. Like it's either Detroit or it's like Seattle or
couple states.
It's an incredible band name.
Yeah.
I know it. I know it. It's like it's one of those names that like I wish I came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm trying to think if there's any other really important Canadian artists that I should shout out. I think I'm also really into like Preoccupations and like Women.
Yeah.
They were from Calgary, I think.
Oh, are they really? Yeah,
I believe so.
I'm not familiar with them.
They're so amazing. Preoccupations used to be called Viet Cong, and they changed their name.
Oh, okay.
And it's I think it's Chad Van Galen. Like they're all like related to him. Like he produced all those early records or something like that. But it just sounds cool. Like it sounds like it's post-punk, and it sounds like the early stuff sounds like it was recorded in like a bunker, and it's just like it sounds very cold, like I feel like someone's like imagination of what Canada would be like.
See, you know what's it's funny is that you're mentioning these artists that I've never heard of. Like, and obviously I'm older and I might not have heard of them. But Connor and I were talking about like the Canadian music scene, and especially in Vancouver, compared to what's happening in London right now. Like there's it's just this big collective. People are on people. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Someone jumps on someone else's album and they all do this. But I think it's such a Canadian thing for us is that we we're like. We don't. I don't know if it's like giving kudos and you know what I mean to our own. You know what I mean, like and saying
we
like,
don't. Like
we don't. Yeah, we don't say like you know what I mean. We don't.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like the artists that we do have.
Well, I mean, we've got some of the biggest artists in the world to come out of Canada, like The Weeknd and Drake and Bieber. But usually you don't really think Canada necessarily. You kind of just think North America.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like I feel like Bieber and The Weeknd, they might not be flying the Canadian flag at least as much as Drake.
Yeah.
But so you might not immediately associate it. Drake
that's a good point.
Pretty hard for Toronto. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. True. Drake might be an outlier.
Yeah.
But you mind if I ask?
A
question.
Go ahead. I don't want to be a hog.
Yeah, I just want to. You can be. You got a bunch of questions. You can ask away. I'm just curious about Frequencies and Volume 1 and kind of just the inspiration behind that and what I'm assuming there'll be a Volume 2 at some point. Most likely with the title. I'm assuming.
Working on. I have to do. I was talking about this the other day. Like I definitely have to do at least 3 volumes, or else it would be just ridiculous to call it that.
Yeah.
Just one and done. But yeah, I'm already working on, and I'm always working on like the next release. So it's just basically like, I guess it's more strictly club music, and it's music for my own DJ sets, really. Like I didn't have anything else in mind while making them. Like I wasn't expecting somebody else to play them, really.
Yeah.
It's more like when I first started DJing in New York and making like my record, I was playing those, or playing like kind of remixed or edited versions of them in the club, or in, call it a club sometimes is a bit of an overstatement. A bar with a dance floor kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like, obviously things changed. I began to DJ more and more and traveled more, and like the style of music I DJ'd started to change. My tastes like became more diverse, and I just essentially, I think every DJ producer kind of person or whatever feels this way, where they're like, oh, it'd be really great if I had a track that like did this, like I could open my set with, or it could bridge these 2 songs, or like even like making like a DJ tool. Like you're like, I want to make a song that's just drums, so I can. That sounds awesome.
I love the titles of each track on
thank you.
on Frequencies. I also love the way you spelled Frequencies.
The
freak.
Got it. Yeah, I'm super obsessed with song titles. They're like really important to me. So
do you know where that obsession came from?
I don't know. I just think like I'm obsessed with like every part of the album or artistic project or whatever. Like even now, like with doing, like I do all the design stuff, or now I've been exporting a little bit of the design work because I do like too much stuff. But basically, like just every part of it, you know, like the way that a record looks, even like the liner notes and all this stuff. Like for example, like I designed the
behind
liner notes of the record and all the inner sleeves and the photography. Like it comes down to sort of creating this feeling or this aesthetic or this attitude and this package that, like, when you interact with it, it just is. And it just has a strong identity. And when I see that people have like taken the time to create this thing that, you know, whether it's super consciously or unconsciously, it just feels like them, or it feels like its own thing, or it feels like fully formed. I just like, I'm so much more excited and interested in it.
Appreciation into it. And I feel the same. You and I were talking about that.
It's funny.
Not too long ago, just about how like certain, artists can create not even albums, but it just feels like an entire world based around a record, and it can last like a couple of years almost.
And I love that you take that time to do that. Like that's it's just not like I'm going to farm out this, I'm going to farm out that, I'm going to farm out this. Like, you know what I mean? It's a whole project, right? And that aesthetic right there, like just that cover of your, like, you know what I mean? It's super simple, but you know what? That's the classic. You know what I mean? That's Mom hates it when I wear that, though, by the way. Like, no shit. I wear it whenever I wear it to weddings and everything, right? She's like, but I'm like, nah, for me, it's Frank Sinatra, it's the old Brat Pack. That's what I wear. And she's like, no, you got to put some color or something like that. And I'm like, no, that's the classic.
It goes everywhere. Although I have to say, like, I feel like sometimes I've been like wearing that, and then you go to like a hotel, like a fancier hotel or a fancier restaurant, and then all the waiters are also wearing that. And then you just kind of blend in. It's also kind of fun.
You accidentally start serving people. Like, what else you got, Father?
I got to get into production here because it's a big chunk of my life. When forming the initial idea for a song, do you start with keys, guitar, vocal melody, chord structure? Or is that something that changes every time you sit down with a DAW? Or
I feel like, honestly, sometimes it just starts with the title. Like,
really?
Like, it depends. But, like, for example, like on the EP, the song Modelizer, I was like, I definitely have to call a song that. I just think it's such a... Like, it was so funny. I think, like, I feel like I heard the word, and then later on I was rewatching Sex and the City, and there's basically a whole episode about like a modelizer character who only dates models. Yeah. And then I was like talking to my friend Nick about the song, and he was like, oh, when you sent me the demo, like I thought of it as like a machine that turns normal women into models. And I was like, oh, that's actually really interesting and cool. And he was like, don't overcomplicate the song, like don't put too many words or anything on it. And that's kind of when I felt like it was going to be a dance track for this EP rather than something else. And leaving sort of, I mean, the title up to interpretation. But yeah, I just thought that title was very like playful and funny, and a lot of other songs start that way. But of course, I think like in terms of the actual writing and production of it, like usually I'll just start with the drums because it's just like drums and the tempo basically determine what kind of song you're making to some degree, or the absence of drums, like in terms of genre and like where it's going to be and how intense it's going to be. Like I feel like they're sort of the silent champion of most songs.
Sure. Yeah, I was listening to the bass drop in in Guess, right? And I was like, I think the kick, was the kick? Yeah, no, the drums kick in at the 22-second mark, and I have a little thing over there because I wanted to ask you on the DAW. It says, like, why did you specifically choose that kick? And do you ever get? My question is that I get overwhelmed because you got Alchemy, you got. We use Logic, right? So we got Alchemy, and then you got Omnisphere, and you got all these different things. We also have like regular drums and all that kind of stuff. But how do you pinpoint what is going to be? Like, how do you get that?
I guess it just depends on feel. You know, mostly. I try not to overthink it too much. I like now from just listening to a lot of dance music, like I definitely take away maybe more complicated connotations from different kinds of kick drums that other people might not. Like I'm really obsessed with like micro house and like this Cologne label called Compact. And
Compact.
I was like reading an interview with one of the guys, and he was talking about like I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't Cologne. It was like another place in Germany, but he was like, oh, that's like a classic like Dusseldorf kick or something.
Really? Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is a Dusseldorf kick drum? And you listen to it and it's like just like more muted or longer or something. And then the other Compact stuff is all very like tight and short.
Yeah.
Decays. In general, I just like tight, punchy sounds more than like, I'm not really into like big techno, like sort of kicks with the rumble attached. I'm just not really into that because I like music that happens in smaller rooms. I'm not like into the idea. I'm not into like huge warehouse raves. That's not really like where I come from. But I guess like nowadays I'm just trying to do it like as fast as possible too, in a way. I think I'll just like find a kick drum that's already been processed and sounds pretty good, and I'll just slap it in there. Like maybe if I want like a Lindrum sound, you know, I'll just look for like a nice Lindrum sample and use that. But for guess, I think I was just flipping through some packs of samples that I already had. Yeah. And I don't know, that one's just like in your face and it sounds kind of cheap and stuff. Like I think it's tuned to the wrong key. Like I don't worry about tuning the kicks very much either. And I mean, I think the whole Brad aesthetic is obviously supposed to be like a little bit raw and you know, simple, and it just felt good. So
see, that's one of those things that was the best answer for me, because I overcomplicate shit when I go in there.
Yeah, you overthink a lot.
I overthink, and I'm like, oh, are they laying there, blah blah blah, and they're doing this, and I've watched Phineas's stems, and I'm like watching all these people's stems. I watch Quedeca's stems, right, and I'm like, oh, there's like this multiple layers and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, if it just is like and it sounds good to me, I guess I should just stick with that, instead of messing around. And
I think it's also just depends on who you're making the music for, and I mean, if you personally care a lot about it, when you listen to it later, you're gonna care about it still, then it's important. But at the same time, like if you want to take a more cold, cynical approach, like I think this is my same friend Nick was telling me, like the Max, or I forget, I don't know which guy it was exactly, but he like takes a video on his phone of the song playing, and then he takes another video of the song playing on that phone and then listens to it. And he just listens to what you can hear through that doubly recorded video. He's like, if you can't hear it through that, it doesn't matter. You know, like if it's some small little sound effect or whatever, like it just doesn't matter, because most people are not going to be, you know,
tuning in that
paying
deeply,
attention to the kick drum ever. So, I think it's healthy to have both approaches. You know? I mean, I want, at least for me personally, like I want the music to be like perceived on multiple levels. You know, someone can just sort of listen to it offhandedly and be like, hey, that's pretty interesting and casual, and it's like coming out of a phone speaker. But then of course I want somebody to be like, if they're inspecting it up close, be like, oh, that's actually a very interesting you know, arrangement, or that's like a very interesting hi-hat sound, you know. So
we just added a sub to our studio over there, a Yamaha sub, and I listened to your album like twice in the last couple of days, and I was like listening to the bottom end, I'm like, it blows my mind, because I can't figure that, you know, that how to get that. And that's something that you got to show me eventually, right?
I know a little more than
and learn.
You, but I'm no expert.
Yeah, I remember years and years ago, it was like, I remember when Pro Tools came out, and I had the studio at our old house, and a guy that was a really good producer in town, he came up to me, and I said to him, is the music landscape going to change because everybody's got a DAW, everybody's got Pro Tools? He goes, no, Kevin, you gotta have talent. You really have to have talent in song structure and melody. It just doesn't, people just don't throw, like, and people throw us demos all the time. Can you check out this or this album? But it's like, it's not really hitting it, right? So it's like, you have to have that musical thing. And I think you learning music at a young age, right,
definitely helped.
It does, right?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, it is interesting though, especially in like dance music and electronic music, like where the talent is just so different sometimes. Like there's a lot of DJs who are incredible DJs, but they don't really know what the key of G is, you know, like they don't know.
Yeah.
It's just not really important for what they do.
Yeah.
And like sometimes that's reflected in the music. Like you get these electronic compositions that have like really weird decisions where like the bass is, you know, staying on like the 4 or something instead of the 1. And you're like, that's super off kilter and weird. And they were probably just going off vibes, you know, whereas like somebody else might be like, well, I'm not going to have the bass drop on the 4. Like that's the most unsatisfying thing ever, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Playing violin definitely helps.
I read at one point, I'm going to change my voice. I read at one point. I read at one point you were a guitar teacher. Is that true?
Sort of, just a little bit. Yeah. I was a substitute and after school teacher in New York. And then I got, they were like, we also need someone to teach guitar lessons.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of that, but I was never like a super involved guitar teacher.
You're not like fluid in modes and stuff like that?
I am, because I took some jazz guitar lessons like when I was like 18 or something. So I'm like not extremely fluent in modal composition and stuff, but I do know, I have like a basic knowledge of modes.
I was going to ask you because I've been playing guitar for 35 years. Yeah. And I'm stuck in the minor pentatonics and it's horrible.
Well, they're the best.
Yeah. Well, David Gilmour is there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just the coolest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, that was the one, my new Strat right there is the first one I've like bought, right?
Yeah.
And I have that plugged in, and I was
not first one you bought. No,
that's the
first Strat.
That's my first Strat.
Yes,
I have the Telecaster, which is like the only other guy that has that Telecaster that actually I know is Johnny Greenwood
that plays it.
Yeah, it's in the other room there, right? So it's like, but I always feel, you know what? There's a point where you play guitar and it's like, you know what? I feel inadequate because I'm playing minor pentatonics or whatever. Like, but it's like, I don't think I'll ever play modal. Like, you know what I mean? You've heard me play.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's the KISS mentality. Just keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah. I think it's just about, I don't know what it's just about like just being cool and communicating like the attitude you want to communicate.
Yeah.
I think like playing things a lot stupider than you need to is just always better.
That just made me feel better.
I don't know.
Yeah,
just having fun.
Yeah.
Most of my favorite guitar solos are not like extremely virtuosic. They're just like, they just have attitude and are like tough, you know, like Keith Richards and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like,
okay, yeah.
Like the Sympathy for the Devil solo is not like ridiculously like crazy. It just has so much like swagger. And,
I never realized how much he used alternate tunings, like open G and stuff.
Yeah, like they did some stuff. I feel like I wonder if that's like they're trying to like emulate like traditional blues.
I think so. That's what it was. Also.
But,
right, for sure.
So you taught guitar, you know, briefly, but you said the substitute teaching was your kind of main thing at the time, and then DJing as well. I'm assuming you were. Teaching, I just read this from online, but I want to confirm with you, is you graduated English literature?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm just curious because I'm a big reader. So do you have any favorite? What's your like top 3 favorite books?
I don't know.
If you had
That's
to narrow
really
it down.
hard. I feel like I always shout out Tropic of Cancer by Henry Miller.
Mm-hmm.
That book kind of was like, when I read that, I was like, this is sort of how I want to write. Mm-hmm. Basically, if I am going to like write anything seriously,
that was my follow-up question was being an English literature graduate, you think writing would be something that you're
I think like in college I basically started studying music, and then I just felt like I wasn't in love with the music program, and I wanted to like just do something safer, because at that point in time I was just like a big music fan, you know, who played guitar and stuff. And I just thought that English literature was just classic and would open a lot of doors and would also help with
music.
Yeah, and just storytelling and everything. But I feel like, Henry Miller, I'm really obsessed with Frederick Seidel, who's like a lesser known New York poet who just writes like super violently. Like his poems are just so he's sort of like a villain, like a super villain. Like
Yeah.
he was born very, very wealthy, and he mostly writes about like riding one of his many Ducati motorcycles and like his handmade Italian leather shoes, and he says like horrible things about women and other people, and he basically just can't be stopped, and he's just up in his fucking
just a menace
castle on like the Upper West Side or whatever. But it's just like electrifying to read his poetry because it does feel so free, and just like it does sort of run counter to like I think like what a lot of people feel like they should do
with poetry
now, in art in general. So I'm really obsessed with him. I don't know who else I really, really like. I'm reading this book, Winesburg, Ohio, right now that my friend recommended me.
Who's that by?
It's what's his face? Sherwood Anderson. It's like an early modernist book that I feel like got skipped over during my education. I feel like it's a little bit lesser known, but it's considered like a classic, sort of a collection of like interwoven short stories about like a fictional town in Ohio.
That sounds really interesting.
You should also, I just read this really amazing biography of Edie Sedgwick.
Oh, really?
But it's more than just about her story, you know. Obviously, like her story is also intertwined with Andy Warhol's life, so it's like a ton about that period of time in New York, and it's sort of like it's an oral history, but it also goes back into like her parents and her parents' parents, and like sort of just like America at that time, honestly, from a very particular perspective, but it's very fascinating, and there's like all kinds of mental illness and craziness like going on.
I'll have to check that out. Have you ever read Nina Simone's Gum?
I have not, but I love Nina Simone.
Have you heard of Nina Simone's Gum? Oh, okay. I'll have to tell you about it later. Yeah, because I know you got questions there. But
we're the literature chat.
Mine are pretty easy. Like it's pretty quick here. Hardware, VST, and DAW. I one of those things I always like to know is like I have hardware in there, and I also have like the DAW, right? And I also have VSTs. Do you like the analog synths? VSTs?
I guess a little bit of both. I feel like lately, because of my schedule, I'm using more VSTs.
Yeah.
My one synthesizer is in a storage unit in California, so I need to get that. But I like both. I just don't own a lot of gear.
Yeah.
The only gear I do own is like guitars, really.
Really? Yeah.
So I use a lot of VSTs. I do find it to be like basically indiscernible.
Yeah.
And there are also like more complicated tricks you can use in the box to make VSTs sound even shittier. And or like, you know, you can use vintage synth emulations, and then you can also do things with saturation and tape delay and wobble and all of that to make them sound real. Yeah. But I just don't really care. Like I'm not that precious. I'm not like dogmatic about anything. I'll use whatever. But I do find that like when I come across like a real synth or something, especially when I maybe don't know what I'm doing exactly, I'll stumble into some interesting like riffs or whatever on it, because it's just kind of a joy to play, and it does spark that excitement, and trying to get excited about anything is like kind of half the battle, I feel like, for me. So
I always, I love that I have a JV 1080, which is like an old Roland, right? But I can't get it hooked up. There's no way it's even talking to
it's too old.
Our DAW. No, it's not. I have to go MIDI to MIDI and all that kind of stuff, right? But I realized that I was messing around. I started playing with the VSTs that are in and I'm like, they don't sound really much different. Like nowadays. Yeah. Well, I forget the software I was using 20 years ago, and I think it's from Sweden, and it has these, I don't know if you know it, but it has these chords that you move. Like you actually have to move the chords to different things.
Like it's like a modular thing.
Yeah, it's a modular thing, but you move the chords, and I was like blown away at the time. But I didn't have enough CPU. Okay, right. So the CPU was croaking. It was horrible, or whatever. Right. So I went to the hardware equipment, and I thought that was fine. But I always find like you overthink what I'm doing in terms of like I just got to use the VSTs and just write. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what. But he's put me in the right direction of just sit down and write and don't worry about what other people think or what other people are using.
And I'll take care of the rest of the
you
stuff
take
that you don't
exactly
that you're struggling with.
Yeah.
How many? What else you got on there?
Oh, this is a big one. This is probably the biggest question ever.
All right.
Yeah. How do you approach collaborating with other artists and writers in terms of like egos, and how do you approach that?
Can I tag on to that question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I actually had a similar kind of question.
Yeah.
I was just curious about how the stateside collaboration came together. Because I haven't read anywhere on how that happened. So
yeah,
quite curious, but you can answer. I guess
that's
both.
probably a good jumping off point, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Vicky, I think might have been through my publisher who had suggested it, Jen, and I think she was flying. I think she also doesn't like flying, and she had broken up her flight to London to stop in New York for one day to like make it more manageable, I guess. And my publisher Jen or something was like, "You want to do one day with Harrison while you're stopping over?" And she was like, "Sure." So it was actually like a very London, New York stateside kind of thing happening. Geographically, but basically we just met up in some random studio in like Midtown, and she and I had like prepared all these beats for her, and I was like trying to make beats like in the style of like what I thought she might like or something. And she like came in, and I was just like, "Do you like any of these?" And she was like, "Let's just start something new." And I was like, "Oh God, I spent all last night." I mean, I only spent like one night, you know, cooking up a few ideas. But basically, I was like, "All right, whatever." And then we just sort of like, it was just very like playful. We were just kind of, I was like putting down drums and bass lines, and she was like, "I want to play guitar on this." I'll like play some guitar, and then we like scrapped that, and then we tried a different one, and I think we made like 4 or 5 ideas instrumentally. And it was super collaborative. We were also just like showing each other music while doing this, you know, like different records that we hadn't heard. And you know, of course, she's like huge sampler, so she was like, she would like pull in a sample from something. Like I think on Stateside she didn't add the sample till later, but basically we had like the basic track for it done, and then she was like, "Okay, thanks, see you later." And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, I'm gonna do the vocals later, I'll see you later. And I was like, "Okay." And I think right after that I put out my album and went on tour, and the rest of it just happened in the tour van. I don't have a bus, I'm just in a van, like driving across America. Wow. Sort of like you know, just arranging it and structuring things, sending it back and forth.
So Stateside really was the best title for
it
that
was
song.
very fitting. Like there was a lot of movement and travel and so that's how that happened. But I guess I'm not super experienced in the realm of collaboration. I mean, there are a couple of collaborations on my album, and then of course I have Stateside and Guess as like big collaborative examples. I guess they've all been like a little bit different. I guess when I was growing up, and we were talking about Danny Brown earlier, like I was obsessed with Danny Brown when I was in high school, and I was also obsessed with like Tonight and Hudson Mohawk and Lunas and stuff, and I was listening to them at the same time, like in my car, and I was just like, why can't they get together and make a banger? Like, I want this identity, you know, of Danny Brown's vocals on top of these insane instrumentals. I was like, why can't this happen? Like, do they not know each other or what? I don't know why.
Let's make it happen.
But I just feel like when people collaborate, I want to hear each person's like distinct identity coming together, not clashing, obviously. But like finding some sort of middle ground, even if it's like really slight. Like, I just think when both people shine through, then it's just exciting. You know, it's just it's I don't know.
So would Danny be on the list of like possible future collabs?
I mean, that would be great. I guess I'll try and talk to him
tomorrow.
See what's up.
Let's see how he goes.
He's done some, or sorry to cut you off. No, he's done some pretty fun verses over like some pretty intense dance tracks lately.
Like Frost Children, my friends, like that. I feel like that's just such a good fit too. Like, yeah, in a way, they're kind of making my high school dreams come true. To some degree. Like make this wacky dance music, rap music. Yeah, I feel like me and Danny Brown could make something like Spank Rock or something. They're awesome. But I forget what I was saying. I guess collaboration. Yeah, I don't know. It's just always a bit different. I'm like, especially for my music, you know, it's weird because I'm like a producer, and then of course I had some other producers work on the record too, who had some just like amazing ideas that kind of like helped the songs move along. Like sometimes I just get stuck and they'd be like, what about this chord progression here, or what about, you know, we add a guitar or something, and that would be really helpful. But I don't know, I like passing things back and forth. It just feels like a very elegant and fun way to do it. Like it's fun like I don't know, it's fun to like getting the stateside demo back from Vicky with the vocal on it is just like an electrifying listen. Feeling.
Wow.
Because I had the instrumental to some degree, and I was just like, she was like, "Do you like it?" And I was like, "I love it." I was like, "I think it's so great." So.
And then I assume probably similar feeling with Guess. Was there a sending back and forth kind of?
Yeah, that one is basically, she started with Dylan Brady from 100 Gex, and it was like a bit slower, and I had the vocal, and she had asked me to work on it, and I did something, but it was like very experimental, I guess, and weird and slow, like not that danceable, and like pretty abrasive and insane. And she was like, "Yeah, this is cool, but like I don't think I can put this out or something." I just didn't want to, and I didn't even think it was very good. So we just sat on it for a really long time, and then later on, I was just sort of remixing it for club use, and I sent it to her, and she was really excited. She really liked it, and then we went back and forth like with a fine-tooth comb over it to like sort of sculpt it into what it is now.
Sweet,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Anything else before we
No, I think I'm at the end of it, because I could ask a million, but I don't want to keep you, but we have another segment that we do right here. I'm not sure if you see this segment before.
If you maybe I don't know, what is it?
Okay,
well, we do it in the podcast episodes. Yes. We had a name for it, and then we kind of got rid of the
it's
name.
Basically
we just give you some gifts.
We give you some gifts and we open them up, and so that's
really nice.
So that's it. So let's start with I know which one, because we talked about it in the opening question, right?
No. I was that save that one for last.
Well, okay.
We'll start with this, because we give this to a lot of guests.
We're not sponsored. We just love the product.
Okay.
And if you're on tour, it's something that you can use.
I should open it.
Yes. Yeah, you can if you don't mind. You know.
It's heavy.
Yeah, you'd think they'd sponsor us by now. We've given this to a good amount of artists.
I know, like. At least.
Oh, you wrapped it.
I actually
this is really nice.
I actually
thank you.
I think there's a logo on the other side. I even went crazy.
Oh, you put one of our stickers.
Oh, there is. Yeah. Beautiful. Ooh.
Well, this is what I'll tell you. It's
Thank you.
It's a Vancouver-based company. It's all organic.
Ooh, this is super nice.
It's a pocket pharmacy for.
Just when you're traveling.
When you're traveling, yeah.
Oh my God.
They're all essential oils.
And
my mom is I gotta show this to her. She's gonna go crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get sick, there's Immune in there, and right.
Or even
thank you so much.
Stress relief one.
Yeah, the stress relief.
Nice. I've used it before.
Yeah, and a tiny little bottle of vodka in there.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
They definitely need to sponsor you. Thank you.
This one, if you have it already, then we can just we'll figure it out. We'll give it to someone else, but you might not have it. So.
Oh wow! I don't have this.
Oh, perfect. Awesome!
Wow. This will go wonderfully next to my Edie Sedgwick biography.
I was gonna say,
Wow. No, I haven't read this. Who wrote it?
I think it's Lou and somebody else. Is it?
Yeah. You were the one that actually told me about it.
Well, I looked at it and I haven't
read it. But I'm a big Lou Reed fan.
He's a huge fan.
So. I am too. Yeah. Oh wow, this looks amazing. I will definitely be reading this.
So something to read on the plane or in tour and stuff like that, right?
Definitely.
I think it's got the perforated pages too. The one like
it does.
Yeah,
this is super nice. Thank you guys.
Okay,
wait, what's your favorite Lou Reed song? And yours as well.
Take a Walk on the Wild Side.
Okay.
Yep.
Classic.
I got a lot of weed in me growing up, listening to that.
I think Cody Island Baby for me. But Walk on the Wild Side has got to be up there.
Oh,
it's a classic.
Yeah.
Final gift here.
Yeah,
this is so how do we explain this?
It's a little bit of.
I hope it's a hat.
It might be.
No.
No, it's.
Are you guessing that?
Yeah.
It's a little bit because we know you spent a lot of time or your childhood years in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And us being Canadian, we were like, okay, how can we combine? I know New York is a big part of your life, and I guess you're
LA
all over the place now.
Yeah.
But you know, Seattle, Vancouver, very close. We were trying to think of a way to kind of combine the two. So I'll let you. We'll open it and then we'll explain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we took a big risk on this.
Oh, it is a hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looked vaguely hat shaped.
It did.
Hey, wait, is this the Kraken?
Yeah. And if you open it up here,
oh my
that
God,
side, we got it put.
Hey.
We got a little bit of custom work on there.
This is so sick. You know what? My brother is a huge Kraken fan.
Oh, that's
he's going to go nuts when he
really
sees this. He actually will. He's going to lose his mind.
And you know what's funny is because you talked about this in the beginning of the podcast is you were like, you know, there's no pictures of me with hats out there.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, we shit the bed on this.
Well, we were browsing the internet. We're like, fuck, he doesn't wear hats. We're like, we bought a hat and like he doesn't wear hats.
No, I do wear hats. Okay. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. And it was like we put it on the side just so like you don't get noticed when you're at the Kraken game.
They're just like, oh, he's just a Kraken and the Dare fan.
Yeah, exactly. No, we thought with the because you know when you were growing up in Seattle, they didn't have a team. Now they do, which is like it should have been. They should have had a team a long time ago.
A long time ago.
But
I agree.
We're huge fans of hockey, so it was like we have to go down and see some play.
Yeah,
they got a great team, so.
Yeah, well,
let's go.
But
yeah,
this is so nice. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, we can wrap it up here. Yeah. So, Frequencies Volume 1, it's on streaming.
Yes, sir.
Is there vinyl copies of it, or it's just streaming right now?
I think there are vinyl copies. I think there are
available. Okay,
yes.
Cool. And I don't know what your because usually at the end of these we like to just say where the artist is playing if they're on tour, but I don't know what your schedule is. Do you have more shows coming up? Or
I do. Should I plug some of them?
Yeah,
let's go. All right, we're going to. I mean, tomorrow we got Vancouver.
Yes,
obviously we got. I'm also playing Toronto and Montreal in
sweet.
a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Sweet.
And then.
Was there a Chicago date? You've done Chicago.
I already did that.
Yeah, that was right.
I think that might be it until the South. I'm touring the whole South, or some of the South.
Yeah.
Next month. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, keep your eyes peeled for some shows in your area. Where you're pointing at that camera.
I'm at that one. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
And then the 1 year anniversary of New York is coming up. What, September?
I think the
4th, 5th,
8th or 9th. I don't even know.
Something
really.
like that.
I don't know. I don't even care about the release of the music. I just forget about it by that point.
Yeah.
But the album's out there. It's been out for almost a year now. So go give that a listen if you haven't already. And thank you so much for coming through.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a blast.
I mean it. Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys. Peace.
Ciao. Tutto vore.